So he says, say here, a body having a rectangular cross section, having the width and the thickness, and having the length L, and here having a length L, and is subjected to a tensile load which is acting in a direction perpendicular along the direction of the axis perpendicular to the cross section. So when it is applied, so you are going to have the length, it will be having the length of L. So due to the application of the tensile load, so naturally the body will going to be get deformed. So the body will going to be get deformed to a length of L plus dl or L plus delta L. So this is going to be the final length of the body. And then what happens to the cross section? The cross section initially, which was B and T, has been reduced to B minus delta B and T minus delta T. So that means it will going to have the reduce in cross section and increases in length. Similarly, suppose if I apply a compressive load, so what happens? So naturally the length will going to decrease and the area of cross section will going to be increased. So this is the concept that the volume of the body will going to remain the same. Now we will going to consider the strain in the direction of the applied load. So the strain at right angles, here let delta L will be equal to, let delta L will be equal to increase in length, delta L will be equal to increase in length, which is equal to, that is, we have, what is the increase in length? The increase in length will be the final length minus the original length. So what is the final length? The final length will be equal to L plus delta L minus L will give you delta L. Next is the decrease in width. So delta B will be equal to decrease in width, which is delta B. That is the original dimension of the body, which is the area of cross section, which is going to be. So because this is the original length and this is going to be the, original width, and this is going to be the final width. So B minus delta B. So that will be equal to B minus B will go to get cancelled. So that will be equal to delta B. Similarly, delta T, that is the thickness, that is decrease in thickness. So again, original thickness, that is original thickness minus the final thickness, that is T minus of T minus delta T, which will be equal to delta T. Now we will let L be the original length of the body. Let where L will be equal to original length of the body or the member. Then W will be equal to, that is B is original width and T is the original thickness. T will be equal to the original thickness. So now the linear or the longitudinal strain. Now linear or longitudinal strain. Linear or longitudinal strain is given by which is change in length by the original length of the member. So that will be equal to epsilon will be equal to linear strain change in length by the original length. Change in length by the original length. So what is the change in length? The change in length is given by delta L, which will be by the original length will be equal to L. So this will be epsilon will be equal to delta L by L. But what we want is the lateral strain. The lateral strain is always corresponds to the cross section wherein we have the width and thickness. So to do that, lateral strain will be given by changing the lateral dimension by the original lateral dimension. Change in lateral dimension divided by the original dimension or to the original lateral dimension. So what is lateral? Lateral is nothing but it is the cross section what we are talking about here. The cross section is B and T. So that will be equal to delta B by B or delta P by T. So this is how we will be able to define the lateral strain. The next part is we will going to consider the Poisson's ratio. So the next is the Poisson's ratio. So to do that, Poisson's ratio, which is denoted by the letter 1 by m or mu. So what is the Poisson's ratio? It is the lateral dimension or the lateral strain by the longitudinal strain, which will going to be the Poisson's ratio. So the Poisson's ratio is given by Poisson's ratio, which is 1 by m or mu, which is given by the ratio of lateral dimension or the lateral strain to the longitudinal strain. So here it's given the ratio of lateral strain to the longitudinal strain, which is a constant, which is for a constant for a given material. For a given material, it is a constant. The next is, and it will be within the elastic limit. Now the next is the volumetric strain. So what is the volumetric strain? The change in volume for the original volume, which is called the volumetric strain. So in this, we have the ratio of change in volume to the original volume of the body. So if you are considering this, in this case, so volumetric strain, which will be epsilon V, which will be equal to is change in volume by the original volume. So that is, it will be delta V by, which is delta V by V. So that will be equal to, so now we will going to consider a rectangular bar having, so if you are considering a rectangular bar having the length and the width and the thickness. So we have the width W or B, we have the length, which is L, and we have thickness, which is going to be T. So this is the original length of the member, which is subjected to the tensile load, which is as shown in the figure. So that means we are considering the same figure with a cross section having the member which is applied with a tensile load, because due to this application of the tensile load, the member will going to be get deformed to this dimension, to this, having the length L. So when you are considering the cross section, the cross section will be, this is the tensile load P which is applied, and here we have the cross section of B and T, of B and T, and having the reduced in cross section due to the application of the tensile load which will be here. So this portion is subjected to the tensile. So we have this which is B minus delta B, and in this case T minus delta T. So this is the cross section what we are going to get when the member is applied with the tensile load. Now first we will going to consider the what is the original volume. See, original volume is the length into breadth into thickness. So what is the original volume? The space occupied by the member, which is the entire cross section. This is the space what it is occupied by the member, which will going to be length into breadth into thickness. So that will be equal to length into width into thickness, length into width into thickness. So that will be equal to L into B into T. So that will be equal to L into B into T. The next is the final volume. So what will going to be the final volume? Now when you are considering the final volume, you can see here the length has been increased to L plus delta L. So that is this one. This is the member when it is applied with the tensile load. This will, the length will going to be increased. So this will going to be the length, and it reduces the cross section by width of B minus delta B and also with T minus delta T. So here final volume will be equal to L plus delta L into width B plus delta B minus delta B, then thickness into T minus delta T. The thickness, and here minus sign is coming because the cross sectional area is decreasing. Here the plus is there because the length is increased. So that is the reason why you are getting positive and negative here. So now when you are applying this, now we will go to open this bracket. So that will be equal to, so here first we are going to open between these two, L into B minus L into delta B, L into delta B, then plus B into delta L, plus into minus becomes minus, delta L into delta B. So that is multiplied by T minus delta T. Now we will go to again multiply, that is L into B into T, then minus L into T into delta B, plus B into T into delta L, minus delta L into delta B into T, then minus into plus, minus L into B into delta T, then minus L into delta B into delta T, then B into delta L into delta E. So again this becomes minus into minus becomes plus, L into delta B into delta T, then plus into minus becomes minus, delta B into delta L into B into delta L into delta T, then minus into minus becomes plus again. So that will be equal to delta L into delta B into delta T. So these are the terms which you are going to get. So here what happens is the delta L itself is a small quantity, and again multiplied by the further small quantity, then it becomes negligible. So we can neglect this. So this can be neglected. Similarly, this can be neglected, and again this can be neglected, and this can be ignored. So what we are going to get? we will going to get with LBT, that is L into B into T, minus or plus B into T into delta L, plus B into T into delta L, then minus L into T minus L into T into delta B. So these three, minus L into B into delta T. Then, so this will going to be the change in volume, final volume. So this is the final expression after simplification. Now we will going to apply. So what I need to do is, I want to find out what is the change in volume. So we have the original volume and we have the final volume. Now we want to find out what is the change in volume. So to find out the change in volume, so the change in volume will be given by, so change in volume will be equal to final volume minus original volume. Final volume minus original volume. So here, so what is the final volume? The final volume is given by LBT, L into B into T, plus B into T into delta L, minus L into T into delta B, minus L into B into delta T, minus original volume is LBT. So we have LBT plus LBT minus LBT gets cancels. So that will be equal to BT into delta L minus L into T into delta B minus L into B into delta T. So this is how you are going to get the change in volume. So then what we need to find out is, we need to find out the volumetric strain. So the volumetric strain is given by epsilon V, which is equal to delta V by V. Change in volume by the original, minus L into T into delta V minus L into B into delta T divided by L into B into delta T. So in this case, B into T into B. So in this case, BT is get cancelled. So that will left out with delta L by M. In this case, L into T get cancels, minus delta B by B. And in this case, L into B will going to get cancelled, minus delta T by T. So this will going to be the epsilon B. So delta L by L, epsilon B is nothing but epsilon N, that is strain in the longitudinal direction, minus delta B by B, that is strain in the lateral dimension, which is delta B, and then minus delta T by T, again minus epsilon T. So this is how you will be able to get the expression. Now once we get this is the volumetric strain, what we are going to